Image. I'm Buddy Cunanan. Tonight's topic is Philippines-Spain business ties and also cultural ties and tourism, as we are finding out. Joining us still is Francisco Moreno Velo, the president of La Cámara, which is a Spanish Chamber of Commerce here in the Philippines. Francisco, welcome back to the third and final segment.
Thank you.
Beautiful video. I mean, what a country, Spain, huh? I mean, just that alone shows you the diversity of the country. But before we go that, let's talk about closing our economic our discussion. Talking about what you mentioned in the second segment, and I thought this was very impressive when you said that the Spanish working class, the employees, the people on the line, they all took a hit in order to help Spain, the economy, because the economy was in dire straits. And I think, for me, that is really an amazing and a very admirable thing that happened in Spain, because in other countries in Europe, there was a lot of furor and chaos when it came to swallowing the bitter pill of austerity that was really very much needed. What do you have to say about that? About Spanish people coming together? I think very
Well, I say,
noble.
Fortunately, I think in the latest decades, the Spanish people have shown to be very mature and very wise. And if you listen to the politicians, they look, these guys are crazy, they're going to fight with each other. But then the reality, the gravity imposes its law, and people are wise. People really understood and understand how more or less the economy works, and they understand there are good moments, like we had tremendous years where everything was so easy. Now life is good, but in order to preserve that life, we have to make some small sacrifices. And people are very mature, and the majority of the people took the hit. There are some irresponsibles always that tell people that they can always live beautifully and that you can have all this support from the government in all areas, and then you can have work instead of 35 hours per week, 30 hours per week. But people deep inside are more responsible than
Very
politicians.
good, very good. And things picking up in Spain. We talked about big companies like Andrew Tan and all that. But what about now that Spain seems to be picking up? What about from the SME, small, medium-sized enterprise and businessmen who want to look at Spain as a market or as an investment opportunity?
Well, I think you have a great opportunity. Real estate prices in Spain are really contained, and they're really there's very good opportunities in the market, in the real estate sector. Now it's picking up a little bit, and I think the Filipino small companies are also looking at diversifying. There's more than just business sometimes. I see many businessmen in the Philippines, not the big tycoons, but the smallest businessmen, that sometimes they want to send their kids to university to Spain, or they want to just have a vacation in Europe, and they have Spain as a reference point. So there are many opportunities there, and I think the Philippines, that has been for many years looking more internally than externally, is going to look more now, because the economy is doing so well, is going to look more at diversifying the portfolio.
And of course, your chamber is always open to inquiries and people who want to
Yes.
maybe look at opportunities in Spain. No?
Yeah,
you guys can help them link.
Absolutely. We receive inquiries all the time from different Filipino, not the big companies, but also the smaller companies, even individuals, and our house absolutely is open, and we can help them, and this is what we are here for, basically.
Talking about your synergy with La Cámara and other stakeholders here in Manila, like Instituto Cervantes, I understand that there is an event that you guys are supporting. It's called Pelicula, and you guys are very actively supporting in terms of moral, and maybe some of your members are also providing sponsorship support to this endeavor. It's called Pelicula. It's by Instituto Cervantes. It's actually the Spanish Film Festival, and this year they promised to have, courtesy for the information given to me by our friend Jose Fons of Instituto Cervantes, excellent lineup of the best Spanish films this year. So let's have that video, Pelicula, Spanish Film Festival. Very good. Instituto Cervantes, pelikula showing until October 15 at Greenbelt 3, the cinemas at Greenbelt 3. You guys are behind this 100% pelikula, and Jose Fons told me that amazing lineup this year. Did you have a chance to see any of the movies since it opened last, was it Friday, I think, last Thursday? Yeah.
Yes, yes. In fact, I went to see one of its movies, Los Últimos de Filipinas, and his director was there, and he even answered questions after the meeting. It's a story of during the Filipino-Spanish War in 1898, when there was this small post in Valer, and they stayed there even 1 year fighting with the Tagalog soldiers, and they were not aware that the Spanish were going to surrender to the Americans, and they fought for 1 year. So it was very interesting.
So 1 year after the war ended, they were still fighting.
Yes, these crazy guys, sorry for the expression, they stayed there, and they went inside the church, and they resisted for 1 year.
Very interesting story.
Yeah.
I hope that the Filipinos can still catch this. I mean, it's running until October 15, Greenbelt Cinema 3. So highly recommended, huh, Francisco?
Yeah,
This
highly
movie.
recommended. It's
Bravo.
a very interesting historic, based on a real historical event, very important event in our common history, and it's a very good movie, and I recommend everybody go there and watch it. Yeah.
Now, quickly, before we end the show, we have about 2 minutes to close. Let's talk about tourism. And we've been showing all these beautiful Spain tourism videos. Wonderful country. And sadly, a lot of people, when they go to Spain, they only consider Madrid and Barcelona. What can you offer outside these two? I mean, what is your pitch? How would you sell Spain outside Madrid and Barcelona to
Yes.
Filipinos?
Well, Spain has very different weather from north to south. If you go by car from Madrid to any other part, which is in the center, to any other part in Spain, it will take you maximum 5-6 hours to drive. And you have the North Atlantic Spanish, it's very green, it resembles like Ireland, with all these valleys and mountains. And the south, it's sunnier, you have the beach. So you can drive all around Spain or go by train and see many different regions, and that all have its own history. You have its own architecture, different type of architecture, and really its own gastronomy. And I recommend people not only go to Madrid and Barcelona, but to stop everywhere they can within Spain. Yeah.
As a Madrileño, which is your favorite part of the city?
Well, I'm a Madrileño, but my family is from Galicia, from
okay.
the northwest of Spain, the Atlantic Spain, and I generally go there at least 1 week in the year to enjoy it. It's a little bit colder. My house is near the Santiago Cathedral, where the pilgrims go there from all Europe.
Yes, yes.
And I love especially Galicia because my family comes from there. I love Madrid. I love Barcelona. I lived there for 5 years. I was born in Valencia, so
wow, okay.
I lived in different parts of Spain. I love Andalusia in the south. I recommend people to explore, to see different regions in Spain. We will treat them always very well. They will eat very well, and they will learn about history and architecture.
Very
and
nice.
they'll have a good time. Yeah.
Interesting you should mention Valencia, because a very prominent Filipino of Spanish descent, Manoling Morato, the Moratos are really from Valencia, from a place called outside Valencia called Javia.
Ah,
Yes, they had an ancestral home there, which I had a privilege to visit, very close personally to Manoling, and so that's where they're from. And
Valencia, it's also a beautiful place to be. They have the best paella in the world.
Yes. Although the Catalans might get angry when you say that. Huh?
Catalan, they have the arroz negro, the black rice.
Yes.
And they also in the south have arroz caldoso in Tarragona. And so all the Mediterranean, they have excellent rices. But the paella, which is a special rice, that is from...
That's really from Valencia. Excellent. So my last question for you, if people were to choose, you mentioned, I know your loyalties are with many cities, but after, of course, the stars are Madrid and Barcelona, what would you recommend as a third city for people to visit if they had only time for 3 cities? What would be what would be Spain? You know?
It's really difficult for me. I mean, I will mention, go to Sevilla. Sevilla is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. Or go to Granada, to see Alhambra. You have to do that. But also go to the north, to País Vasco. San Sebastián is a beautiful place. And if you can stop in Galicia. So I give you, I'm sorry, but I cannot.
I guess your advice would be just stay in Spain and concentrate because there's so much to see in Spain.
Absolutely.
Spend a lot of time there.
Yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Francisco, thank you for coming to the show. But before we go, would you like to say something in behalf of La Cámara?
Yes, our house is open for all the, if you belong to a Spanish community or you're in a Spanish company and want to do business in the Philippines or planning to do it in the future, contact us. If you're a Filipino, you like to have a relationship with Spanish companies in the Philippines, you're thinking of maybe now or in the future doing business in Spain, come knock on our door. We receive everybody, and we are very open for any type of suggestion and any type of help that you might need. Yeah.
Está bien. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias, Francisco, and more power to you guys at La Cámara and their great efforts in bringing the Philippines and Spain closer together and improving business, economic, and cultural ties. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed our show tonight. It's Philippines-Spain Business Ties. Join us again next week here in Global Village and let us take you around the world. Till then, you all have a good evening.